then on the 18th, we have Ty Williams. On the 19th, Goblin. On the 24th, which is a Monday, we have Danny G. On the 25th, DJ The Disaster. And on the 26th, Isaiah Valencia. So definitely March already in the books. Just gotta wait until they drop. Alright, depending on who you ask, it was definitely an eventful week in pro wrestling, but I dare to say it was a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the news. Um, let's start with a bit of good news this week, and that is that a one Lex Luger will be finally inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. All it took was him literally learning how to re-walk by Diamond Dallas Page to do so. Uh, I mean, I have no complaints about it. He should have been in maybe years ago. Um, well deserving, obviously a well-known name in pro wrestling. What say you, Kaliko?
I mean, he got in mainly for the WCW run and his pre-WWE run. I mean, him being in the WWE, he was a guy and he was slated to be the guy, but like like they always say, he just got usurped by one Bret Hart, who, you know, people just loved him. But that's not like a knock on his wrestling career as a whole. One the big belt one was one of the holders of the prestigious big gold and a U.S. heavyweight champion. Uh, had one of the more unique submission moves with the torture rack, which was pretty good. Um,
That's not a move you see quite often nowadays either.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like people don't really use that move a lot. I thought that move would have been, I feel like somebody like Brock could have used that move as a submission. But neither here nor there. Was one of the four horsemen. So I mean, surprised he didn't get it. Well, the four. I feel like it should be like the NFL when they induct a faction, the members of that. Well, never mind, because if it was the NWO, there'd be like 3,000 members. I was about to say, but he was in the NWO.
You do realize that if they inducted all of the members of the NWO, that Virgil would have been in the Hall of Fame as of right now.
I mean, low key, but he might as well be in the Hall of Fame.
But he's not in the Hall of
Virgil
Fame.
was I mean, he's an iconic 80s character.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he was definitely the little buddy to Million Dollar Man. I
I mean, yeah,
I mean, who else was a
if
part of
Flick's in the
the?
Hall of Fame, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, who else was a part of the NWO? Disco Inferno wasn't a part of the NWO, right?
Disco Inferno was in the NWO. Who wasn't in the NWO in '96? That's
Yeah.
the bigger question. Like, who wasn't in the motherfucker? But well deserved as an overall wrestling career. And this just goes to show DDP got that touch, man. You touch him, you make the Hall of Fame. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with them and DDP, but for some odd reason, DDP gets a touch of him. They're like, oh shit, he can make the Hall of Fame. Like,
Hey, everybody wants to talk about being a wrestling god. DDP is wrestling Jesus.
I mean, he should get in. I'm telling you, he gonna get in twice. I mean, is he even in yet?
Yeah, he's in.
That's what I'm saying. He gonna be a two-time inductee for humanitarian work.
And he deserves it. He 100% deserves it.
He's gonna be a Warrior Award recipient.
Unfortunately, they don't do Warrior Awards anymore.
I mean, if they bring it back for what it actually meant, he would be the guy.
That I agree with. I mean, low key, like, should they make the Warrior Award a part of the Hall of Fame, or should it have been like its own thing on its own? You know what I
Well,
mean?
the Warrior Award was kind of like the Hall of Fame for uh, the Warrior Award is kind of like was supposedly supposed to be kind of like how you know how like most Hall of Fames have like you have the careerist guys who actually are the fighters. Let's say like the NFL Hall of Fame, right? A contributor. There you go, contributor. So
Right.
it was meant to be a contributor to like to the business. It kind of like a contributor wing, if you will.
And then it kind of turned into something completely different.
Correct.
And just when
And
it went,
that's
and just when it went to it got to the point where it was kind of getting back to what Warrior was talking about, then they just scrapped it altogether.
right. And that's what I'm saying. Like so it because put it like this, there's no way a guy like Earl Hebner would make the Hall of Fame in the WWE without that.
I disagree. I mean, all
I mean,
and
he no, I'm saying he'll make it, but I'm just saying like Little Nate.
yeah, no, I get that.
You see what I'm saying? Like Little Nate, Earl Hebner, those dudes that are even like people that are helping people in the business, like a DDP.
No, you're absolutely right about that. Um,
You know, so that would be my thought process. He's helped so many people. It, I mean, just in not only like in body wise, but just life. Shit.
well, definitely well deserved when it comes to Lex going into the Hall of Fame, 100%. Um, Going from somebody helping others to somebody that's helping themselves, and that's a one Iyo Sky. Out of all the what the fuck moments that happened this week, and there was a bunch of them, I would say that this is definitely up there, maybe top three, and that is that one Iyo Sky defeated the Eradicator, Mommy herself, Rhea Ripley, to win the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Definitely did not see that coming, but not necessarily mad at it either. Um, Super happy for Iyo. Um, it's just bizarre how sometimes they protect somebody to the moon and back, and then the same person, it's not the same the next time around. You know, Rio went from holding the championship for a year straight to holding it for maybe what, 2 months and change.
True. Honestly, honestly, it made a bit of sense when you think about it. I mean, I thought about it in the sense because the one thing they always said was like Rhea is one of those people where she can beat people, but there are people that got her number, right?
Yeah,
Last year, Liv had her number all throughout the fucking all of 2024. Liv was just booping her ass upside the head. It wasn't even close. Uh, this and then when you think of Iyo, I mean, they've been. I knew she was gonna win when they brought up the fact that Rhea never beat Iyo. I was like, what? Like, did that never dawned in my head? Like, wait, what?
I mean they only had 2 matches, but yeah, Iyo won
But
both of those. And
they
also
had
keep in,
three.
huh?
They had three.
Dre. Well, I mean, also keep in mind that Iyo beat Rhea and Charlotte for her NXT title win as well.
Right. And The way Rhea lost, it made sense because she was so busy messing with Bianca.
Right.
It almost kind of like her confidence turned to arrogance.
Which is
Essentially, that's what it
pretty
was.
on par for Rhea. I mean, it's on theme.
You think that was on par for her?
I mean, yeah. You know, mommy is very confident until her confidence is shaken. Um, it's things like that hasn't changed for her. She still has that. Um, I don't know what to call it, but when she just has, you know, when her confidence is shaken, she gets
The
sloppy.
hubris.
Yeah, she gets sloppy. And we've seen that time and time again, but we haven't seen it obviously recently because, you know, not a lot of people have been taking it to Rhea, you know, when it comes to, you know, actual athleticism, you know, actually competitiveness. You know what I mean?
I can see your point there. I just think that it was a good. It's a shakeup. It's a great shakeup. Um,
It
it
definitely makes that
leads
Rhea
you
pop.
to. It makes you pay attention now
Right.
because keep in mind this is usually this time they're so busy trying to have everything kind of booked that usually the whole card is booked. So you usually are just building those storylines that get there.
Right.
And I can only imagine, I can say without a doubt between this is probably the most changing of titles from January to Mania I've seen in a while in WWE. Because keep in mind, Liv started the year with the title.
Right. First,
And that,
first of the
yep,
year.
she was the
Actually,
first of the year with the title. And
Actually, no,
then,
no, no, no. Tiffy. Tiffy cashed in on January 1st on Naya. And
oh yeah, that's right.
then,
No, no, no. Remember, the first Raw was in LA. Rhea beats Liv.
yeah, but this first SmackDown was on,
The first SmackDown was Tiffy cashing in on Nia. Yeah.
yeah. And then, Iyo beat, Rhea
Rhea
just yesterday. LA Knight pinned Nakamura to retain,
Nakamura.
yeah, to get the United States Championship. Um, how many times has
War Raiders beat fucking.
um yeah did
I'm just saying,
Gargano
it's crazy.
did Gargano and Ciampa beat Motor City this year or was that last year?
Ciampa beat. Yep. That was no, it was this year.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah,
they're definitely making it more unpredictable going into WrestleMania because, like you said, usually everything is kind of cut and dry. You know, we know where we're going. We're building to those matches, and they're kind of switching up the narrative on us. You know, I'm definitely not mad at it, but do we see because for anybody that hasn't seen, spoiler alert, Bianca Belair won the Elimination Chamber. The match is Bianca versus Iyo as of now at Mania. Does it go to a triple threat? Bianca, Rhea, and Iyo, or does what do they do with Rhea?
you can make the case for it. Um, you, you can make the case for it due to the fact that Bianca kind of got caught up in this beautiful drama segment that happened on Friday. You can, I, I personally, I think that was, let me see, they've only had like usually they do one good ass woman storyline each year. And last year it was the Bailey Iyo. This year it's that Bianca, Jade, and Naomi.
But it's
That
so
segment was fucking not. That segment was nice. We'll get there when we get there. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like it's kind of keeping you on your toes. It's to make it because especially right around now, it's usually the lull part. And keep in mind, also, we are usually getting Mania at the beginning of April, and now it's mid-April, so they really got to make you kind of focus.
we still have like
Uh,
what a little over a month.
a whole, a little over a month and a half. So yeah, they really got to do things to kind of make you pay attention until then, and especially with March Madness coming up and so on and so forth. So yeah, they really got to kind of keep you in step with it.
Right. It's just but you mentioned it, Lil, so let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Obviously um, Bianca, Jade, and Naomi. Um, there's a big rivalry there, and like you said, pretty much a cinema on SmackDown yesterday. Um, which just kind of confuses me, if I'm being honest. Why would you have Bianca, going win the chamber, going to compete for the championship when obviously the smoke is with Jade and Naomi, and that's where the money is with Jade and Naomi. But it's kind of like it's two separate worlds that Bianca's in. It's the world heavyweight title picture, and it's the drama that's going on with Naomi and Jade. You know what I mean?
Well, that's by design, though. I mean, because because Bianca, I mean, the way that came off, it was almost like Bianca. Bianca's like, I know I have to do something with it, but I have nothing to do with it, so I don't want nothing to do with it because her eyes are on the bigger goal, right?
Right.
Which leads me to believe I think Naomi's gonna come back for her ass.
Oh, for sure.
You don't scream like that for somebody's name, and then they desert you and gonna let that shit slide.
Oh yeah.
So the, it gives something where if Bianca loses, you can understand why she loses at Mania because this is probably the most
Emotionally
distracted she's
fueled.
ever been. This is the most distracted she's ever been heading to Mania because usually when she's heading to Mania, it's one on one. She's focused. She got nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then
Like she's usually like a beeline. There's usually a beeline for Bianca. This gives the opportunity for Bianca to show a range of emotion because every year that she goes into Mania, into wrestling matches, it was just to prove that she's better as a wrestler.
right,
This allows her to go into WrestleMania as a uber developing character, if
right.
that makes sense.
No, absolutely, and you're absolutely right.
Like
This is the most range
spreading the range of her emotions.
we've gotten out of Bianca when it came to character wise from her. 100%. I mean, like you said, all her rivalries were based off of being the best, being EST. This is obviously a brand new animal that she hasn't dealt with yet, and obviously we're seeing some great shit coming out of it. I just, like I said, I feel like it would have been. I mean, we could still maybe get there, but Bianca, Naomi, and Jade, triple threat mania. I mean, I feel like that's where the money is. But
Well, well,
yeah,
the only reason you don't get there yet is because we know for sure that Jade is going for for
Naomi,
Naomi.
yeah,
It could be kind of a Drew situation where she's just going for Naomi because that's the first person she's seeing right now, and that's the first person that's done her wrong. And she could easily shift that focus to Bianca because Bianca is not innocent in this. And I'll explain. Remember every time like after Jade got attacked, Bianca would be like, where's Jade? Have you heard from Jade? And Naomi's like, no, I ain't heard from Jade. And,
yeah.
Jade could easily go, motherfucker, you could have came and checked on me too.
Yes, that, that was what I was thinking during the the promo was like. I mean, when you get attacked, but like, was Jade like in a coma that she couldn't tell? That like was her jaw wired shut that she couldn't tell Bianca that it was uh, Naomi?
I mean, it seemed like it seemed like Bianca was waiting on Naomi to give her like a message from a telegram when we're in the FaceTime era. Like, what the
Morse
fuck are
code.
you doing?
She was waiting
What
for
the fuck are you doing?
she was waiting for Morse code. Tap 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 tap
You
tap
know what
tap
I'm saying?
tap.
Like smoke signals, and we sitting up here, goddamn,
like
like, bitch,
like text message her. You have that ability.
no shit. Like, well, hot damn. But I mean, but that easily could turn. I'm telling you, it easily could go there. And and that's where it's the unpredictability.
Right.
So the emotions are gonna cost her.
We saw
It
see.
it, it just will. It will. It ain't even. It's coming.
I'm definitely genuinely curious to see how all of this plays out because, like I said, you have two very different storylines playing out on two different shows. It's just a matter of seeing how that goes. But speaking of Jade Cargill, it seems like the Gill is in some hot water. Um, it was reported, rumor and innuendo as we call it, that she was maybe in some hot water with Shayna Baszler. There was a confrontation between the two ladies after one of their matches. Um, I believe, if believe in what's going on, that Cargill accused Shayna Baszler of being too stiffed and not knowing how to work. I don't know how accurate that would actually be. Um, a lot of the girls in the locker room are taking Shayna Baszler's side. I don't. I believe that Cargill hasn't made herself look favorable towards the other women in the locker room. She published the video on, I believe, Instagram or X or, I mean, social media. And there was a video of her saying something on the lines of working with wolves and women's clothing. Um, and some of the ladies took offense to that. I could make the argument it was towards Naomi and the rivalry she's currently in because, obviously she's being, a bit two-faced, but, how she's pretending that she's her friend, and then she attacked her, and you know. But some are saying that it's not directed to Naomi; it's directed towards the women's locker room. I don't know. I could, where there's smoke, there's fire. So I could definitely see, there being issues and problems between Jade and some of the women of WWE. I don't think it's maybe as nuclear as they're making it out to be. I do feel like it's just, yeah, there's some problems. It's not going to necessarily affect work. You don't have to like the person that you're working with. You just have to work with them. But what say you, Kaliko? Do you think this is true? Do you think that it's on Jade's side? Do you think it's on, what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, it could be a bit of both. I mean, depends on when did this happen, right?
It was
Like,
after class at the castle, so around June, July?
damn, that was before she got, I mean, the only reason it might have a legging to it is because you see Jade come in and she doesn't even touch NXT, goes straight to the main roster, becomes this big power player with Bianca, right?
And gets a
You
title
got
right off the
someone,
bat as well.
right, and you see Shayna, who's probably been, getting it out the mud, if you will, and Jade could probably be feeling herself at that time. Just got signed, got tag titles, running with Bianca like it's nobody's business, having a ball. I mean, it's plausible.
Also keep in mind that Jade didn't necessarily come from a healthy locker room environment to begin with. You know, you
She's
could,
like, I'm used to this shit.
right. So, I mean, AEW's women locker room was anything but, a positive place to work. So, maybe it's a matter of she doesn't know, proper locker room etiquette. Um, Maybe it's, that. Maybe she does have, you know, a bit of a more of an ego than she'd like to admit. But, who knows? I know that if you had Jade Cargill and Shayna Baszler, one on one in the street, I put money on Baszler 100% of the time.
Oh
Um,
yeah, my money's on Shayna. 99.999.
well, you're giving Jade 0.1000001%. I mean, you're a lot more generous
Shayna
than I am.
Shayna will fuck you up.
Yeah. I mean, there hasn't been anything on Shayna's side of things. But I mean, Shayna isn't the type of person to talk shit anyway. So, um, maybe there's problems, but I don't think it's anything that isn't going to be resolved by WWE in the end. What are your thoughts?
I mean, until more likely we are making something out of something that's already been squashed.
More than likely.
So I mean, it's it yeah, it happened, but is it affecting how they work now? And that's the question we gotta ask. And if it's not, it's not. And just keep it pushing. I mean, I could see it though, especially, Jade's, this is what, year one, starting year two for Jade.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't put it past her.
Well, a quick little antidote. We're talking about year one, year two. Who's doing what. Um, Stephanie Vakor, just did an interview recently, and she mentioned that WWE actually gave her the option of what she wanted to do. Did she want to be on NXT or did she want to be on the main roster? She mentioned, right off the bat, she said main roster. And then when she kind of slowed down and, got her bearings, she realized, I don't speak English. Maybe it'd be best if I started on NXT. And honestly, good on her for making that realization that, she wasn't, she didn't necessarily have all the tools she necessarily needed to be on the main roster to succeed. So, kind of put on that humble cap, so to speak, and say, okay, well, being here can actually help me progress. So good on her, no?
I mean, self-realization, but I don't think the way she looks, she don't need to speak English. She's,
Yeah, her looks speak to our hearts.
yeah, her look speaks for herself. So, I mean, but it helped, honestly, it helped her in NXT in the sense that it gave her the opportunity to have a cultish following. Because that girl's got a following. Julia's been there, and Stephanie's more popular than her.
You're not wrong. But I mean, Stephanie has more to her than Julia, if we're being completely honest.
They both don't talk. What are you talking about?
I'm not talking about language here, Kaliko, and you know that.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you talking about, never mind. Talking about bakery.
I mean, we call it the bakery for a reason.
You talking about the baked goods? Oh yeah, she's got the baked goods and the face. Yeah, it's a wrap.
She she's got the cake, she got the icing, she has the decoration, she has the fondant, she has everything that a cake could possibly need to be the best cake that it possibly needs to be.
Mm,
And Julia,
yeah.
yeah,
No, I'm just mm,
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 just mm,
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 mm.
mm.
Keeping up on the women, it was announced that there will be another uh, Evolution PLE. Um, Obviously, Revolution was the all women's pay preview, or PLE as we call them now. Back in 2018, there's only ever been one. Announced that there's going to be another one this year. Um, I'm not mad at it. I think it's a good time to bring it back. Um, they obviously have the woman power this time around that they maybe lacked last time around. Um, and I mean, it gives the guys a couple of weeks to breathe, develop their storylines and what they need to do. Um, and it gives the women, that won't necessarily have storylines, um, an opportunity to develop storylines and maybe have, something, you know, substantial that, isn't, Rhea Ripley,
Yes.
um, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, etc., etc. So, I mean, it gives girls like Valkyria an opportunity, Mission, Chelsea Green, etc., etc. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, those titles are gonna get defended at Mania. I'm telling you right now. So Chelsea Green and Lyria is about to be busy.
Uh-huh.
N-
It doesn't
Now the
seem
rest
like,
of them, yes.
I mean, it doesn't seem like, Valkyria is going to be busy. It seems like she has a seat at catering at this point.
I don't see. I see they're gonna have her defend the title. Be blasphemy not for her not to.
I mean, Chelsea had a memorable title defense yesterday on SmackDown, I'd say.
I know, and if you think that she didn't work her ass to get there, man,
And congratulations to Alba Fire making a re-debut as one of the security Secret Service for Chelsea Green. Think that it's gonna
I
actually
mean,
do her really well to actually be not a witchy bitch character that made no sense.
I mean, they did get rid of Isla though. Oh, that girl, she was a baddie too. See, Sean had the bakery, man. What they boy, Chef Sean. That's what we gonna start. Chef Sean.
Um, I think we should call him.
Sean the baker.
I mean, he's the baker, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Call him the Muffin Man. Um, speaking, well, actually, Revolution, the PLE. Did you have any other comments about it?
I low key think what I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I think considering that we got new uh tag champs, it gives it, you know what I'm saying? The roster, the women's roster is sufficiently deep enough to have one.
Right.
This is I mean, even at the last one they had, it was deep, but this one is the deepest that they ever been if you're including NXT.
I would definitely include NXT to that. I don't see why you couldn't involve NXT in the Revolution PLE. You know, I dare say that they have a good enough women to have a little WWE versus NXT match at Revolution. You know, get all the women from NXT, all the women from WWE, have a little 5-on-5 match. I don't think that would suck. Especially considering on Tuesday, Sol Ruka defeated Chelsea Green as well. So, I mean, she might be getting the title opportunity sooner rather than later as well.
Could be. I just think that I mean, but that's why they got the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. James. That's why they combined all the damn titles. So they could fucking have Liv Morgan go to NXT and just go smack motherfuckers upside their head.
I mean, very true. But somebody that's not smacking motherfuckers upside the head no longer is a one Carmella. Um, she um, she was not fired. Her contract came up and WWE decided not to renew. She decided to go on a podcast. I don't even know who the podcast was with. From what I'm hearing, it's somebody that was on the show 16 and Pregnant. So, um, that tells you, the credibility of the podcast. But Carmella was stating that she didn't feel that she felt like it was a crappy way to end a 12-year career, which it absolutely is. Um, she's been injured after giving birth and pregnancy and all that stuff. Um, and she was trying to rehabilitate so she could make her in-ring return, but alas, WWE did not see that, and she felt that it had something to do with her being her going away for so long and giving birth, which
Ding, 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 ding.
okay, elaborate.
Ding, 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 ding. That's the answer. Because if you haven't noticed, the landscape that she left is not the landscape she came back to.
Yeah,
Like a whole new fucking world. Because keep in mind, Carmella was signed as a work in progress.
yeah,
And she progressed very, very well. I'm not going to sit there and lie and say that she hasn't. I think she's had some great moments in NXT. It was just the timing when she ended up having the baby, plus the timing of that injury, the entire landscape of that division changed. Think about it. I think, well, she's been out for 2 years?
yeah.
So Nia Jax came back. Jade Cargill just jumped in.
Shawn Michaels
Naomi came back.
Shawn Michaels made a
Na-
bakery.
yeah, Naomi came back. And this is just us with thinking that the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
That bakery is waiting to get leashed on the main roster. It's in the oven. He got them hoes in the oven, waiting to bring their ass back up. Roxanne Perez, her ass is due for the main roster, and she's only 20. What, 22?
Something like that. Like I said, Sol Ruka just be Chelsea Green. I
Yeah,
guess,
Chelsea Green coming back, but Chelsea Green is in the spot where Carmella would be.
yeah. I dare say that Jordan Grace could have been on the main roster at this point. Um, I mean, hell, we could see Julia on the main roster in the next couple of months.
I think she's it depends.
I mean, it depends on
Zakor
who
will
wins
make
at
it before.
Roadblock.
Zakor will be there, but Zakor will win the match. Zakor is going to win the match, and she'll still make the main roster before Julia.
Wow, that's a bold prediction. Well, she did,
She has it, man. She is it. That she's it. That's it.
and it's something,
Like
and it is something NXT desperately needs to draw money right now. So I think they'll leave her on NXT until they find somebody to replace her that has it, like she has it. You know what I mean?
I, nah, nah. She countdown's on.
Well, Carmella was trying to blame WWE by saying, her because she was gone from her pregnancy so long, that was one of the deciding factors. Um, and I would maybe say, yeah, if, Alexa Bliss didn't, come back last month, had
Becky Lynch.
after having given birth, and for anybody that doesn't know, Alexa and Carmella gave birth literally weeks apart. So, um, there's that as well. Like you said, Becky Lynch. Um, there's a girl on NXT. One of the announcers, she just gave birth as well, she didn't just give birth, but she was out with pregnancy as well, and she just came back. Kelly something.
Are you talking about the ring announcer or the
She was something Quinn on Ring of Honor. Kathy
um
Quinn or Quinzel or some shit like that. I can't remember.
something like that? But the point we're making is that that is one hell of an outlier.
Yeah, but no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Because it was just a matter of timing. I don't, and that's not me. I'm not dunking on her, but that was just it's just timing. The time, literally, it her 2 years being gone seemed like light years. Now, I'm not gonna sit there and say that it's productive mainly her fault because of the simple fact. I'm not gonna say it's her fault that they didn't give her a chance to show what she's got because it's not fair for someone like Bliss to come back and get, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And get just thrusted into the chamber and thrusted into the, you know what I'm saying? Into the Rumble. I think Carmella could have done well too. Um, I just wonder how much advocating she was trying to do, or could she have been collateral damage for Corey? I don't know.
Um, it, I mean, WWE is pretty petty, but not renewing somebody's, wife because because you had some bad things to say on Twitter, it seems a little bit too petty, in my opinion.
I mean, I'm just saying anything is possible.
I mean, you're not wrong. Um, Keeping up on, obviously Carmella didn't get renewed. And Mickey James is being replaced on Legends and Future Stars next season, with a one Michelle McCool. Undertaker said he'd continue being on the show as long as Michelle McCool was a part of it. Um, and they said okay, and it was in spite of Mickey James. It just feels like we're back in 2008 again. But I digress. It seems like Mickey James cannot cut a break with WWE anymore. Am I wrong on that, or what are your thoughts?
I mean, she just got inducted in the Hall of Fame. You saw that shit coming, bro. Like, come on, man. Gave her that Legends deal, and Taker was like, "Oh yeah, let's go ahead and leverage this."
Um, I mean, they could have. I mean, they could have replaced her with Booker T. I mean, I love Booker T, obviously, but I mean, Booker T has a job with WWE. He's enjoying the bakery, like he's literally the commentator. You
He speaks for all of us in the bakery. That's it.
you know, you ever see Cheers, and you have Norm, who's the barfly.
Yes.
Booker
Yep.
T is the norm of NXT.
That you can make an argument.
So I mean,
I'll
you could have replaced Booker T with Michelle McCool. I don't think he would have, cared. But that's just my opinion.
I mean, maybe but hey, he cares enough. That's all that matters. You
And
ain't got to care a lot, just got to care enough.
I suppose, as of now, I didn't hear anything on Mickey James's side of things, whether if she was angry about it or not. But I mean, there's not a lot she could necessarily say. I mean, it's Undertaker's wife, so. And I mean, Nick Aldis
Yeah,
only has so much pull in WWE, no?
fuck you gonna do about it? I mean, so much pull compared to Taker, he ain't got shit.
Very true. Um, I don't even know if you know about this, but it was announced that NWA for the Crockett Cup, they're bringing in Natalya of WWE. She's going to be competing on the Crockett Cup. Don't actually have a date for it, but yeah, Natalya being lended out to NWA. I think that would be great for her. She actually gets to.
Thank God, because y'all they be fucking that girl over.
I mean, she gets to compete. The women of NWA gets to learn. If they actually know who she is. Um, and
No, you didn't just say that.
they didn't know who Jazz was. So if they didn't know who Jazz was, what makes you think they're gonna know who Natalya is?
Because Natalia is a Neihart. God damn it.
I mean, it's like
That's why.
I'm not literally no shade on Natalya. Like people should know who Natalya is, but it doesn't leave new bright-eyed, bushy-tailed wrestling girls to not know the people that came before them. You know what I mean?
That's bullshit. I call bullshit on that. Because if they know who Lita and Trish Stratus is, Natalia was literally in the same cohorts. No, give me that shit. Mickey James, all of them were in the same cohort.
Okay, so where this is coming from is Angelina Love. She obviously works for NWA, and she was speaking about the girls that came in or did extra work or just worked in general for NWA. And she said they did not know who I was. And even worse, they didn't know who Jazz was backstage. So I hope that they would get better girls that were maybe a little bit more educated, but let's hope for the best for NWA, no?
And these motherfuckers don't know shit.
What does it kind of tell you that we're at the point where WWE is lending out wrestlers to NWA? It kind of seems like everybody gets to play except AEW. No, no,
Well, that's AEW's fault.
is it?
No one thought they had to talk shit about WWE every chance they got.
It's all they have at this point is talking shit about WWE.
Uh, there you go. There it is.
Well, and that brings us to our
I
last.
mean,
Oh, anything else you want to add?
like that's all you can say. There it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, more or less.
It's just damn shame.
Um, our last bit of news this week. You know, I don't think it needs to be said. Obviously John Cena won the Elimination Chamber, going to compete against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41, to attempt to capture his 17th World Championship. That being said, the person co-holding the record for 16-time World Champion, Ric Flair, said that John Cena would have to go through him in order to capture his 17th World Championship, implying that Ric Flair once again will come out of
Man, if
retirement.
you don't stop dropping that shit, man, Rick, go home. Go home, bro. We love you. Go home, bro.
I think he was at home when he said this.
Boy, he needs to be, stay off Zoom, Twitter. Just chill, bro. You got it.
All social medias. I mean,
I know life's been grand since you ain't, you ain't in the marriage game, but come on, bro.
it would be fun to it would be a fun little antidote. If Ric Flair actually did retire in what 2008 when he was supposed to, or even after the failed TNA run. But I mean, bro, you had a heart attack in your last match. Like, just give it up. It's over. You had a good run. Calm down.
Yeah, somebody need to tell him to sit the fuck down. Sit the fuck down.
Take away the wrestling part of things. Ric Flair almost died like 3 or 4 times. Two.
So he really thinks he got 9 lives in this bitch.
You know, you might not be wrong about that.
Like, that's the only way you be on some shit like that.
And you
He
know,
really think he a cat in this bitch. He really think he got this motherfucker think he got no lives.
and you know what? He would be right to think that way because he's not dead yet.
Yeah, I mean, if he's gonna go out, he's like, I'm going out high. He wanna go out.
Cue the last scene from the wrestler.
You ain't lying, shit, man. That boy don't take his ass somewhere down.
Alright, I think that will conclude the news. And now a quick word from our sponsors.
Hey, folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show. Support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.